It's been a little while since I came to you with any new connectors, and that's because there haven't been any new connectors, but we have two new ones to talk about. So let's dive in. I'll show you what they look like and what we think about it. So here we are, connectorreview.com, and our first new one is Asite. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it, but this one's all about file management and file transfers. It has one trigger and 3 actions, which is really cool. We always love seeing something that has a trigger in there as well. It seems like a fairly decent connector, but we did point out in the use case, it does have a high price point compared to other connectors we've seen that do similar things. And it seems to absolutely have a niche focus on a few industries, which are government, constructions, and infrastructure. So, you could check it out if it's something that sounds interesting to you, but there are some better ones. So you can click on any of these tags right from here to kind of see the other options. We're big fans of the Cloud Immersive suite of connectors, so you could check that out. And if you were looking more for kind of file management, there's a lot more options, so you can check out the alternatives here. So again, it's an okay connector. We rated it 3 stars. There's nothing particularly bad about it. It's obviously limited to the Asite CDE users, but it's a handy tool if you use them. So let's move on to the next one, which is Flotiq Headless CMS. I'm not going to lie, I had to look up what a headless CMS system is. I know CMS. Headless CMS, if like me, you might not be familiar with that term, is just the back end of a CMS system. So there's no front end to kind of publish the CMS database. It's kind of like a database. So what I'm really struggling with is, what on earth would you use this for? So let me back up a moment. Flotiq Headless CMS has one action, and it's an action: create content object. Which, okay, I'm trying to think of what I would use that for. And I can. Now, I can think, okay, this could be really useful if it were a trigger. When content's created, I want to kick off all these different things by plugging into other connectors. But having an action, something is triggered. Maybe it's the only use case I could think of, because I'm obviously CRM focused a lot of the times. So let's say my marketing team has added a new marketing content item, put it in their CRM system. So maybe when a new item is added as marketing content or tagged a certain way, I want to create content object and then push it to this headless CMS. But I don't know, I really struggle with this one. I can't figure out a good use case. There are some really decent CMS connectors in here, which seem great. So here we go. As a headless CMS, it almost seems out of place when compared to the rest of the connectors in the Power Automate space. So I don't know, it's up to you. Check it out, see if it seems like a good fit. I didn't rate it terribly high. I gave it 1.5 stars because it just seems not terribly useful at this point. Maybe there's more coming from the folks at Flotiq. Maybe they're adding triggers and additional actions. So I stay tuned to revise my original review here. But as of now, with the one action, I'm standing by the 1.5 star. Now, a note for that though, they do have really excellent documentation, which I always appreciate. And I think that helps users a lot. I just can't see where this particular one fits in. So that's, again, just my personal opinion. Add some comments. Let me know if you disagree. And I will certainly revise my review if this connector changes. So that's what we have for April 22nd, 2021. 2 new connectors. And that brings our total count to 487 connectors available in Power Automate today. Happy flowing!